So please rise for a prayer.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Father, Lord in heaven, thank you for this last day of gathering us together for this activity in the year 2025. We come to you as we undertake this procurement process. Grant us your wisdom, integrity, and clarity so that every decision we make reflects fairness, transparency, and the best interests of our community. Grant us unity and peace throughout this undertaking. We trust and believe that in all things you are at work. Forgive us all our trespasses, this we ask in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Jean. Welcome, everyone. Let's formally start now our procurement activity today, December 26, 2025. The pre-bid conference on proposed two civil works projects. We are now streaming live via our DPWH YouTube channel. Comsec, please acknowledge presence of BAC members to determine quorum.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. Our activity for today will have the pre-bid conference for civil works projects, and after this, we will proceed for the opening of bids for goods under small value procurement. Now, let us acknowledge the presence of the Bids and Awards Committee, our chairperson and presider for this activity, Engineer Leo Alex Mabanglo, with the vice chairperson, Engineer Cherry Nazareno, together with the members, Engineer Warly Tolinjo, Architect Clint John Galera, and Engineer Glenn Dairit. We are now in quorum, Mr. Chair.
With the presence of a quorum, the Bids and Awards Committee is hereby called to order. Also acknowledge the presence of everybody, the Technical Working Group, the BAC Secretariat, invited observers, and also for the record, please confirm that all invited observers received notices of this meeting at least 5 days prior.
Also acknowledge the procurement head, Engineer Grace Joy Racho, the BAC Secretariat members and staff, the Technical Working Group members headed by Engineer Stephanie Membreve, and the presenters for the planning and design. We invited a resident auditor, Mr. Jufil Yap. Also, we have sent invitation through email, and we have proof of sending dated December 19, 2025 to the following observers: Attorney Eugene M. Alfaraz, Regional Coordinator of Crimes and Corruption Watch International Incorporated, and copy furnished to Mr. Carlo Batalha, Chairman, President of Crimes and Corruption Watch International, and to Engineer Michael Salarda, President of Davao del Norte Conval Constructors Association Incorporated, and to Mr. Rinaldo B. Miliorida, Schools Division Superintendent, DepEd Davao del Norte. For the online viewers, including prospective bidders, bidders for the opening of bids, observers watching us right now via live streaming on our official YouTube channel, DPWH Davao del Norte DEO Procurement LS. Don't forget to click subscribe. Once again, good day and good morning. Thank you.
Thank you. This procurement activity, the pre-bid conference on the proposed two civil works project under invitation to bid number 2025-02. For contract ID 25SE0087, the repair rehabilitation of classrooms, Colonel Rosario C. Saludares Elementary School, City of Tagum, Davao del Norte, with an ABC of 10,450,000 and contract ID 25SE0088, repair rehabilitation of classrooms, Concepcion ES, Asuncion Saug, Davao del Norte, with an approved budget for the contract of 9,600,000. This pre-bid conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement project, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the pre-bid conference. BACSIAC likewise discussed the common reasons for bidders' disqualifications based on its experience in previous procurement projects. Accordingly, the BAC shall present and explain the ways to prevent similar occasions of disqualifications. Okay, for the agenda items on this pre-bid conference, first is the brief presentation explanation by the BAC of the following. A, the basic contract data, including contract description, location, the approved budget for the contract, its duration, source of fund, major category of work. Also, the requirements of bidding documents, and also documents to be submitted by the bidders as specified in section 54.2 of 12009. First, the technical and the financial proposal. Also, the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, the preliminary examination of bids, the detailed evaluation of bids, the post-qualification, deliberation recommending award and award. And questions, comments from bidders, and replies of BAC, another representative of the procuring entity. On other matters, the interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension on procurement activities for locally funded civil works project signed by Secretary Dizon as referred into DPWH memorandum dated September 16 of 2025. And also the summary of proceedings, including supplementar of bid bulletins to be issued. So let's now proceed to the basic contract data presentation to be undertaken by the engineers from the planning and design section. You are recognized, Ma'am San. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair, and a Merry Christmas to all of us. The contract name of the project is Rehabilitation of Classrooms, Colonels Rosalio C. Saludares, Elementary School, City of Tagum, Davao del Norte. The project ID is 25LC0087. The ABC amount of 10,450,000 and the contract duration of 120 calendar days, and then the source of fund of FY 2025 GAA BEFF. So this is the project site location of the project from our office to project site. And then this the sub-allotment advice. And this is the perspective for building number 1 and 2, building 3, 4, 5, and 11, building 6, 7, building 8 and 9, and building 11. Then our JUTAG photos. This is for the building 1 and 2, the building 3, 4, 5, and 11, the building 6 and 7, the building 8 and 9, and building number 10. And this is our Annex A related to our part and our descriptions, project descriptions, and its quantities. For Part B, the other general requirements, we have permits and clearances, project billboards and signboard, occupational safety and health, and mobilization and demobilization. For our part C, the earthwork, we have removal of structures and obstructions, the structure excavation, the embankment, and then the gravel fill. Next slide. For our part D, the reinforced concrete, we have the structural concrete for class B. For class A, then we have reinforcing steel, we have grade 40 and we have grade 60, the false works and then the form works. And we have also this CHB for our 100 mm and 150 mm thick CHB. And for finishing works, we have the glazed and unglazed tiles, cement plasters, ceilings, carpentry and joinery works, window accessories, and jalousie windows. For painting works, we have painting for concrete and masonry, woods, and steel. And for the framing, we have this roofing accessories for hip and ridge rolls, flashing, and then we have pre-painted metal sheets. For fabricated materials, we have frames, doors, doors for flash and wooden, aluminum, and finishing hardware. For plumbing and sanitary works, we have concrete canal, sewer line works, cold water line, storm drainage, plumbing fixtures, and septic vault. And for electrical, we have conduit, wire and wiring devices, panel and lighting fixtures. And the last part, the part G, the mechanical, we have ventilating equipment, water tank stainless, and fire alarm system. That's all, and thank you.
Okay. Any corrections on the data or any amendment to the data presented? So, walay to be issued na bulletins?
Mr. Chair, tapos subject for SBB submissions today.
Daghang changes sa quantity, Mr. Chair. Ubay-ubay pud ang mga nautro sa mga items. Subject for supplemental bulletin.
Any comment, engineer from planning?
Related to quantity, gi-change na mo to siya, Mr. Chair, kay nami pang add-on nga mga item nga na mislook na ko during sa time nga nag-present at during sa time tong nag-submit ko, sir. Mr. Chair.
First, can you attest on the usage of department order of the CMPD, the latest? Ang sige itong DO about sa CMPD.
Ang DO at sa ato ang CMPD is DO number 60 series of 2023, but it was being kanang namantay katong latest issuance sa special one.
Cite the department order, that special one. I think dili na siya special. Department order 210 or
210 to, Mr. Chair. 210.
Kisay updated ya.
Ito sa POW man to. Di ba?
The mandatory compliance on the CMPD.
Pero ang katong 10. Katong na ay certified na si POW. Certification naman.
Can you use the microphone for information?
For DO 210 po sa CMPD, Mr. Chair, certification to siya sa POW.
Can you state the subject, please, of that 210? In as much nga ang gi-reckoning na to is the POW, ma'am, can you attest the compliance of the directive of the secretary with the use of the special CMPD unit cost and the Department Order 210 series of 2025.
We have this memorandum number 097.7.
Memo ng 7.7.7, ma'am.
And we are using this one, sir, related on the 12% VAT, using the 12% VAT. And this memorandum is use of a special CMPD issuance for determination of material costs.
Okay, so mandated tang mo na gamiton, okay? Otherwise, kung wala siya dito sa special nga CMPD issued by the Secretary, ang reference na to sa unit cost is the second quarter of 2025 CMPD. Given na no? So,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
compliance of that department orders or policy instructions are mandatory. No? Di siya pwede na to nga neglect for whatever reasons. Okay. Implementing office, any query?
Ma'am Jo, mahatag ni mo karon tong kuan.
Yes, ma'am.
Ay, okay
Okay.
po.
So,
Okay po.
may
Thank you,
expecta
Mr.
nga
Chair.
na ay supplemental bid bulletin to be issued. Ma'am Planning and Ma'am Construction.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Chair.
Sige.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but then katong Tagalog, okay. The comparison is coming from the construction section.
Kanina activity is viewed by the prospective bidders for them to be guided, no? Kung ano yung mga changes from the posted against our pre-bid. Okay? Then supplemental bulletins to be issued. Tama ba? Okay, so next time be guided on those things. Okay, so next on the requirements of the bidding documents. So, thank you, ma'am. Are you done with your presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next contract ID 25 SC 0088. Go ahead, ma'am, sir.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. For 25 LC 0088, repair slash rehabilitation of classrooms, Concepcion ES Asuncion, Saug, Davao del Norte, with an allocation of 9,624,120.6 with a contract duration of 180 calendar days under FY 2025 GAA BEFF. So this is our next slide. Okay. This is our geotag photos. So mo nang i-rehab na mga buildings. Kana siya, so kan siya ta ano no is kuan na gid siya. Old building na siya. So for the scope of works, number one, we have repair of 8 classrooms. Na siya 5 classrooms with feeding centers. I-elevate at 1 meter ang iyahang elevation. So naatay removal of structures and obstruction, retrofitting sa existing na columns, then CHB at 1 meter high only, then drywall lang ato ang walling sa ato ang building. Then complete ang atong roofing works with reflective insulation, structural steel, which is trusses, purlins, and sagrads, etc. Then complete po datong ceiling works. So naa siya ceiling no. Then ang kaniyang ceiling niya is marine plywood on metal frame. And complete painting works for masonry, wood, and steel. Then we have also tile works sa CR and also doors and windows. Ato ang window is jalousie and wooden atong doors din. Complete ang electrical works, complete po ang plumbing works. We have also introduced blackboard and ceiling fans. Next. And for a repair of 8 classrooms, mo ni siya ang ikaduha ng part 2. Sa 3 classroom, kaniha 5 to, karon 3 classrooms ni siya. Kaning 3 classrooms is replacement of ceiling works, marine plywood, ang gigamit nga ceiling na itong replace. Then, complete walls, drywall na siya, which is katong kuha na ni siya. Fiber cement on metastud. Then, repainting, masonry steel, tile works sa CR, then atong doors kay wooden and windows is jalousie. We have also replacement of electrical works, blackboard, and ceiling fans. So for the perspective no, kay gi-elevate na to, so nanin na siyang porma sa ato ang building. Na lang siya. So for the floor plan, this is our floor plan. And for the front elevation, next. Okay, so atong existing floor plan, mao na siya. Yan. And for the summary of quantities, we have part B, we have permits and clearances, project billboard, safe, occupational safety and health, and mobilization, demobilization. Part C, removal of structures and obstructions. We have structure excavation, embankment, embankment from roadway and structure excavation, embankment from barrow and from barrow. So, nato itambak. Then gravel fill. Then part D, we have structural concrete and reinforcing steel, grade 40 and grade 60. Also, for the structural concrete is we have 3,000, 4,000 PSI. Next. Yan. Okay. We have painting works, then also ridge roll, kay replacement ang katong mga roofing, also flashing, and also we have the roofing mismo i-replace. And as for the structural steel, this is for the trusses. Ayan. Then, napod siya purlins sa cladding frame, then the metal structure accessories, bolts, turnbuckle, cross bracing, steel plates, and sagrads. Then also frame para sa kuha na siya, door jambs, and atong doors kay wood panel and flush doors, and the window is glass jalousie. Then for the plumbing works, we have sewer line works and also cold water lines and plumbing fixtures para sa CR. Then for the electrical works, we have conduit rough-ins, wires and wiring devices and panel boards and lighting fixtures. And also for the mechanical works, we have the ventilating equipment, which is the ceiling fan. Next po. So that's the BO summary of quantities. And for this is the site validation sheet at Concepcion ES. Next. And for the sub-allotment advice, mo ni ang sub-allotment advice ato. So that's all for the presentation.
Thank you. Is there any changes?
Subjected. Wala ba? Okay, none po, sir.
Okay, so we expect no supplemental bid bulletins. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Another live stream. So, sir, ibalik ka ba itong ano nila? Pero, ibalik ka sa iba. Hindi kasi ibalik. Ay, sige. Dito pa.
Sir, on the assurance of the usage of the CMPD, okay daw, sir. Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Usage of the same PD. Yes, sir. We have updated na, sir. Gigamit na mo ang special issuance na sir, same PD. With certification. With certification na po ni sir. Regarding atong 210.
yes,
DO 210.
it's because ang mandate ni secretary or policy instruction of the secretary, no procurement activity unless na certification, no?
With certification of the head of officer.
by
The head of office.
the head of office.
Yes po, sir.
So definitely a chief of section is not the head of office, I think. So si DE ang nagpirma. Sir,
Do I say?
we have only one head of office as a head of office. Okay, so try to resolve na ninyo. It's because mandated ang back. Dili makaproceed ang back until or unless a certification is issued or signed by the head of office. Now, if the head of office na ay problem as to the who is the head of office, then we have to consult higher authorities para lang ma-resolve ang kuan, no?
Okay, sir. Noted po.
Okay, so then
Pwede man, sir. Okay, sa programmer man yapon ang sir. Nagahatag sa Yes, sir. Na may possible na solution na sir. Pali Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Noted po, sir. Okay, sir. Okay. Based sa standard kwan sir, sa school buildings is tiles gud ang nasa specification sir sa plan. Walay ah okay sir, we'll look into that sir. Mm. Ano? Okay sir.
Okay, so I think that's all for the presentation of the basic contract data. So let's proceed now to the requirements of the bidding documents.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. So the requirements of bidding documents, this includes invitation to bid, instruction to bidders, eligibility requirements, eligibility data sheet, bid data sheet, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, Philippine bidding documents related forms. The bidding documents are posted at the DPWH website and PhilJEPs. Amendments in the provision of the bidding document shall be issued through a supplemental bid bulletin and will be posted in the bid bulletin and notices. The documents to be submitted by the bidder, the technical and financial proposals. Bids must be duly received by the procuring entities back at Kilometer 48, Barangay Kanukutan, Tagum City, Davao del Norte, for manual submission, or at electronic bids _ Davao del Norte at dpwh.gov.ph for electronic submission. Bidders should only select one mode of submission, either manual or electronic. For electronic submission, prior to the deadline of submission of bids, the prospective bidders shall send an email attaching the copy of the official receipt of purchase of bidding documents in portable document file or PDF format. Only the electronic bids of bidders who have successfully submitted an electronic official receipt shall be accepted. Prospective bidders shall prepare their bids in 2 file folders in appropriate documents and file format, each for the technical and financial components. Only during the actual opening of bid shall the bidder disclose the password for his electronic bid. This can be done by the bidder's authorized representative, verbally in person, through phone call, online platforms, or through writing. For joint venture, the format of pickup ID to be used by the bidder in naming their files shall be the pickup ID of the lead member. The step-by-step detailed procedure of electronic submission is stipulated in the bidding documents, Clause 22, and the Department Order 87, Series of 2020. Also included in the Department Order are the steps for the modification of an electronic bid, non-participation in the bidding, withdrawal of electronic bid, and proper email subject, and the file name for each file to be submitted to designated email address. For the technical proposal, PhilJEP Certificate of Registration, Platinum Membership in accordance with Section 20 of the IRR, pickup license and registration in case of joint venture. Statement of all its ongoing and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract in accordance with ITB Clause 5-5. The single largest completed contract shall be supported by an owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES, or a similar performance and monitoring system. In case of contracts with the private sector, an equivalent document shall be submitted. Net financial contracting capacity computation in accordance with ITB Clause 5-6. Joint venture agreement, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of the two contractors. The bid security in prescribed form, amount, and validity period. The bidder at its option shall submit a bid security in the form of a bid securing declaration, any of the following: the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cashier's check, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in manager's check, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if surety bond. In case of extension of bid validity and bid security validity period, substitution of the bid security form is allowed. Bid securing declaration and the following forms may be used: cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security. Bid shall remain valid for the period specified in the BDS, which shall not exceed 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and the bid securities beyond 120 calendar days, the procuring entity concerned shall request in writing all those who submitted bids for such extension before the expiration of the date therefore. Any discrepancy in the amount, even a centavo, means non-compliant. Project requirements, which shall include the following: the organizational chart of the personnel to be deployed for the procurement project to be bid, list of contractors' personnel, example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, and foremen, to be assigned to the procurement project to be bid, with their complete qualifications and experience data. This personnel must meet the required minimum years of experience set in the BDS. As per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012, if a proposed key technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that the personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract, and he or she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualification as certified by the head of the implementing office. The bidder may propose a key technical personnel who is not its employee, provided that the said personnel is required to submit a certification that he or she will work for the bidder if it is awarded the contract under bidding. The said certification shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid. As per Department Order Number 252, Series of 2025, issued by the Department of Labor and Employment, revised implementing rules and regulations of Republic Act Number 11058, entitled An Act Strengthening Compliance with Occupational Safety and Health Standards and Providing Penalties for Violations thereof, under Section 10, Safety in the Use of Equipment, to quote, operators shall undergo appropriate training and certification from the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TESDA, the Professional Regulation Commission, or other relevant government agencies before using the equipment. The DOLIM may recognize training provided by equipment manufacturers, suppliers, or international organizations if it is not available locally. Accredited safety officer requirements for approval of construction safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award in compliance with DOLI Department Order number 252 series of 2025 under section 22 occupational safety and health standards for the construction industry. First aider with certificate of training issued by Philippine Red Cross or an organization authorized by the Secretary of Labor and Employment. Requirements for the approval of construction safety and health program required upon issuance of notice of award in compliance with DOLE Department Order number 252 series of 2025 under section 22 occupational safety and health standards for the construction industry. Lease of contractors' major equipment unit which are owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project, as the case may be, which must meet the minimum requirements for the contract set in the BDS. As per Department Order 58 Series of 2012, all prospective bidders are mandated to state in their bid documents a complete technical description of their pledged equipment, whether owned or leased, such as but not limited to the engine number, year, model, chassis number, plate number, production capacity, and load capacity. In addition, the prospective bidders should also be required to state in their bid documents the particular place or site where the equipment are located as provided for under Department Order number 9, Series of 2012. If any piece of equipment is not in the location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Failure of a prospective bidder to comply with the said requirement shall result in the bidder's automatic post-disqualification for award of contract and forfeiture of its bid security. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per Department Order 11 Series of 2017. Pursuant to Department Order number 171 Series of 2025, guidelines on the use of DPWH performance evaluation system for constructors, consultants, and supplier. Department of Public Works and Highways recognizes the necessity of institutionalizing formal performance evaluation systems for all types of procurement to ensure that past and ongoing performance records are consistently considered in critical stages of procurement and contract management. At the eligibility stage, pursuant to Section 54-4-2-5 of the IRR for infrastructure projects, bidders shall submit proof of satisfactory past performance, such as CPES rating of at least satisfactory or an owner's certificate of final acceptance or equivalent for private sector contracts. Bidders must ensure to the adherence to the Department Order 110 Series of 2024 for the implementation of ISO 9001-2015 certification requirement for large A, medium B, and medium A contractors in the procurement of infrastructure projects of the department. Hence, bidders must attach to the technical envelope their ISO 9001-2015 certification. Failure to attach will be disqualified. The requirement applies to the following pickup size range and their effectivity. For large A, more than 300 million but less than 450 million, the ISO will take effect on January 1, 2025. For medium B, more than 150 million but less than 300 million, the ISO will take effect on July 1, 2025. Medium A, more than 30 million but less than 150 million, the ISO will take effect on January 1, 2026. Pursuant to Department Order 169 Series of 2025, only accredited project engineers may be assigned to DPWH projects subject to following limits of assignment. Omnibus sworn statement in accordance with Section 54-3 of the IRR, 11 items. To ensure compliance with Section 82 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations of Republic Act Number 12009, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, on the declaration of beneficial ownership, all bidders are mandatory to submit the following documents: the latest General Information Sheet or GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information or BOI duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission for corporations, and sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership following the template attached as Annex A for all bidders, including sole proprietorship. Accordingly, all are hereby directed to ensure that each bidder's GIS reflecting the BOI duly submitted to the SEC is maintained valid and updated in their PhilJEPS registration as part of their eligibility, and further to require mandatory submission of the same and the sworn affidavit in their bid. See attached Annex B. For the financial proposal, financial bid form, bid prices, bill of quantities in accordance with ITB Clause 13-1. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above-mentioned checklist is a ground for outright rejection of the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. Bidders shall enclose their technical documents in one sealed envelope marked technical component and the financial component in another sealed envelope marked financial component, sealing them all in outer envelope marked bid, and bid's proposal must be in A4 size. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. Bids submitted through courier will not be accepted. Bidder shall submit 2 original copies, 1 copy, 1 certified true copies of technical and financial components of the bid. The original copy of the bid shall be typed or written in ink and limited to 2 decimal places in amount and shall be signed by the bidder or its duly authorized representative. All envelopes shall contain the name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, bear the name and address of the bidder in capital letters, be addressed to the procuring entities back in accordance with ITB Clause 18-1. Bear the specific identification of this bidding process indicated in the ITB Clause 1-1 and bear a warning: do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with ITB Clause 19. The bidders are also advised to be responsible on their bids submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposal should have proper tabbing in words based on the order in the checklist, including proper sequencing of documents in chronological order. Further, bidders would are advised to not to recycle legal documents or documents attached in the previous submission of bids which have the signatures and countersigns of the back members. Late bid submitted will not be accepted. All forms as mentioned in ITB Clause 17-1 must be completed without any alterations to their format. No substitute form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the bill of quantities under Section 9 hereof, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be a ground for the rejection of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, or overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Bidder with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract. All bid documents are still subject to detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days after the bidding to file for a motion for reconsideration. Further, So pursuant to Section 61-2, for the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. For 61-2-1, the BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following: completeness of the bid, unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including where bid documents including where applicable, bill of quantities shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. However, when no price or a zero or dash is indicated in a requirement item in the bid form, the same shall be construed that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulation to be provided for. And arithmetical corrections. The BAC shall consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modification if expressly allowed in the bidding documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. Also, we would like to remind our bidders that the common reason for disqualification is the non-compliance to posted supplemental bulletin.
Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, deliberation recommending award, and award. After determining the names of the bidders that submitted bids for the contract at hand, the BAC, assisted by its BAC Secretariat, shall check if each bidder that submitted bids is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. This shall be done electronically using the DPWH CWA. The BAC Secretariat shall enter into the CWA the PCAB license number and the name of the bidder. The CWA program will then electronically process and match the bidder's capability or eligibility data in the CWA. The computer program will automatically determine if the bidder meets the following eligibility requirements. The cost of the bidder's SLCC is at least 50% of the ABC of the project to be procured. The bidder's NFCC is at least equal to ABC of the project to be procured. The program will also automatically generate the results of the eligibility check. The reasons for ineligibility will also be automatically shown in the notices of ineligibility. Bidding will be conducted through competitive bidding procedures using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR, otherwise known as the New Government Procurement Act, NGPA. This office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA number 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affected bidder or bidders. The procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids pursuant to ITB Clause 22 to determine the lowest calculated bid or LCB. Lowest calculated responsive bidder or LCRB is the award criterion. The same will be applied to detailed checking, evaluation of the technical proposal. Then, the bidder rated as the lowest calculated bid will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All prospective bidders shall be required to submit a sworn disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership, clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual agreements, or other means of control. Failure to comply shall be a ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, and other issuances related to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process. As per the said DO, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in two or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 days and to complete them within 30 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance within 30 days and to complete the works within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandards quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection, or liquidated damages currently imposed on the contractor. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, we will be sending you a letter being the lowest calculated responsive bid. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process as per DO 127 series of 2018. The BAC, with the assistance of the equipment verification team, will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification as per DO 127 series of 2018. The equipment verification team will conduct an inspection of the verification of the equipment pledged by the contractor.
Thank you. On the comments, or are there comments from our online followers or viewers? Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair. There are 16 views, 6 concurrent viewers, and there is one comment, Mr. Chair, from Engineer Ian Clark Lazo. Good morning, representative of DepEd SDO of Davao del Norte. That's all, Mr. Chair.
His comment.
Representative po siya ng, sir, ng DepEd SDO of Davao del Norte.
Thank you sa ating mga online viewers. Keep participating on that. On other matters, proceed.
For the other matters, this is for information and guidance for the bidders. We have guidelines and some memorandum issued by our department. These are interim guidelines upon lifting of suspension on procurement activities for locally funded civil works projects as referred into DPWH memorandum dated September 16, 2025. These includes live streaming of bidding activities. See Section 38.2 of the IRR of RA 12009, and geotagging of project sites as per DO 85 series of 2020. And also preparation of a straight line diagram as per DO 246 series of 2024. And we have also the net financial contracting capacity, see section 52.4.1.4 of the IRR of RA 12009. And lastly, we have disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership, see section 81.1 and the section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009. We have also bidders' responsibilities, see Philippine bidding documents, procurement of infrastructures projects. And the Department Order number 28 series of 2024, dated February 26, 2024, the three-strike policy of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. And also we have occupational safety and health program in the instruction to bidders. Also, Department Order number 241 series of 2024, subject guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of construction safety and health program for DPWH infrastructure projects. And lastly, Department Order number 171 series of 2025, dated August 30, 2025. Subject guidelines on the use of DPWH performance evaluation systems for constructors, consultants, and suppliers. And also we have a reminder for the prospective bidders, the bid documents must follow the completeness and sufficiency of the bid. The discounts offered should be clearly and legibly written with the signatures so that the back will be able to read it during the opening of bids. Reminded also, they are not allowed to follow up their bids during evaluation period until the issuance of the notice of award, unless the back in writing requests for a clarification of its bids. The no contact role policy will be strictly observed. Whatever submitted during the drafting of bids will be evaluated. Submission of lacking or another document is not allowed. If there are any changes in the basic contract data of these projects, kindly closely check and monitor the DPWH and PhilJEP's websites for information and guidance regarding bid bulletin, and also if there are amendments to the bidding documents of these projects and all other notices, example, postponement or re-advertisement. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other information? Hearing none, so that's all for the brief presentation, explanation on the proposed civil works project under invitation to bid number 2025-02. So let's now proceed to the next procurement activity. The opening of bids under invitation to bid number 2025-0021, the procurement of goods through small value procurement, wherein we have scheduled the 3 RFQs. So may I request box secretariat, technical working group to open the bid box for the preliminary examination of bid. So on this opening of bid, Section 59.1 of Republic Act 12009, preliminary examination of bids, the box shall open the first bid envelopes in public to determine its bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements as prescribed in this IRR. For this purpose, the box shall check the submitted documents to ascertain if they are all present using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as stated in the instruction to bidders. If a bidder submitted the required documents, it shall be rated pass for this particular requirement. In this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or are patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Otherwise, the box shall rate the first bid envelope as pass. Proceed with the preliminary evaluation of the bid. First is RFQ number 2025-12-0065. The supply and delivery of spare parts for use in the replacement of defective parts of its I or its 16976 Mitsubishi Strada and its I or 16979 Mitsubishi Strada with an approved budget for the contract of 457,364.70. Go ahead.
For RFQ number 2025-12-0065, we have a lone bidder, GLF Consumer Goods Trading.
Okay, proceed.
DTI Business Name Registration or SEC Registration Certificate or CDA for cooperatives.
DTI, present.
Valid and current mayor's permit or municipal license.
Okay, mayor's permit, present.
Tax clearance per Executive Order Number 398 Series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR.
Tax clearance certificate, present.
PhilJEP's Platinum Membership.
Certificate of PhilJIP's registration platinum membership, present.
Omnibus Sworn Statement.
Omnibus sworn statement, also present.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, GLF Consumer Goods Trading submitted their eligibility and technical components for the RFQ number 2025-12-0065.
The preliminary evaluation on the eligibility and technical proposal of the loan bidder, GLF Consumer Goods Trading, rated pass. Proceed with the opening of the second envelope containing the financial proposal.
Okay, Mr. Chair, for 2025-12-0065, the loan bidder, GLF Consumers Goods Trading, offered a bid amount in words 456,776 pesos only. Again, 456,776 pesos only. This below ABC, Mr. Chair.
For RFQ number 2025-12-0065, the loan bidder offered a bid amount below the approved budget for the contract. Next, RFQ.
RFQ number 2025-12-0066. We have a lone bidder, Kailiken Construction Supply.
Okay, proceed.
DTI Business Name Registration or SEC Registration Certificate or CDA for cooperatives.
DTI, present.
Valid and current mayor's permit or municipal license.
Mayor's permit, present.
Tax clearance per Executive Order Number 398 Series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR.
Tax clearance, present.
PhilJEPS Platinum Membership.
PhilJIPS Platinum, present.
Omnibus Sworn Statement.
Omnibus sworn statement, present.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, Kylie Ken Construction Supply submitted their eligibility and technical components for RFQ number 2025-12-0066.
Preliminary evaluation on the eligibility and technical proposal of the loan bidder, Kylie Ken Construction Supply, rated pass. Proceed with the opening of the second envelope containing the financial proposal and conduct preliminary examination. Proceed.
For RFQ number 2025-12-0066, loan bidder Kyle Ken Construction Supply, the bid offered price in words, 472,786 pesos and 81 centavos. Again, 472,786 pesos and 81 centavos. And it's below ABC, Mr. Chair.
The technical and financial proposal of the loan bidder pass the preliminary examination. Please read the offered bid amount. Okay, for RFQ number 2025-12-066, the loan bidder offered a bid amount below the approved budget for the contract. Next, RFQ.
Last RFQ number 2025-12-0067. We have a loan bidder, Kylie Ken Construction Supply. DTI Business Name Registration, RSEC Registration Certificate, RCDE for cooperatives.
Present.
Valid and current mayor's permit or municipal license.
Present.
Tax clearance per Executive Order Number 398 series of 2005 as finally reviewed and approved by the BIR.
Present.
PhilJEPS Platinum Membership.
Present.
Omnibus Sworn Statement.
Present.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chair, Kylie Ken Construction and Supply submitted their eligibility and technical components for RFQ number 2025-12-0067.
Preliminary evaluation on the eligibility and technical proposal of the loan bidder, rated pass. Proceed with the opening of the second envelope containing the financial proposal and conduct preliminary examination of bid.
Okay. For the bid amount of Kylie Ken Construction Supply, bid amount in words, 336,668 pesos and 20 centavos. Again, bid amount of Kylie Ken Construction Supply is 336,668 pesos and 20 centavos. So bid amount of Kylie Ken Construction Supply is below the ABC, Mr. Chair.
The 0067, the offered bid amount of Kylie Ken Construction Supply is below the approved budget for the contract. Next,
That's all for the three RFQs, Mr. Chair.
any other information, timelines on this activity? Go ahead.
For information and guidance, as always, a reminder for the bidders, Mr. Chair, that the committee would like to remind that being the bidder with a single bid as read is not a guarantee to be awarded for the contract, since all bid documents are still subject for a detailed bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared a single calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. As stated in the Philippine bidding documents, Clause 23.1, member of the BAC, its staff and personnel, secretariat, and TWG, as well as observers, are prohibited from making or accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of the bids until the issuance of the notice of award, unless otherwise allowed in the case of ITB Clause 24. Clause 23.2, any effort by a bidder to influence the procuring entity in the procuring entity's decisions in respect of the bid evaluation, bid comparison, or contract award will result in the rejection of the bid. ITB Clause 24, to assist in the evaluation, comparison, and post-qualification of the bids, the procuring entity may ask in writing any bidder for a clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. Any clarification submitted by a bidder in respect to its bid that is not in response to the request of the procuring entity shall not be considered. For bid evaluation will be on January 5, post-qualification will be on January 6 to 7, and possible resolution and possible issuance of the notice of award will be on January 8, 2026. That's all, Mr. Chair.
That's all for the preliminary evaluation and reading of bids. Back members, any other information, query, or for discussion? The chair hears none. Any motion for the adjournment of this proceeding?
I move for the adjournment of this proceeding.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. The Bids and Awards Committee is now adjourned. Thank you for your time and presence.